Hey, this is Mike from Junkyard Crafts and Builds, and this is the unboxing and first impressions of the Valaverse Action Force Condor. Now, I've never really messed with any of these Action Force toys before, so I found this fairly inexpensively on eBay, since the first wave apparently has all been sold out. So I want to give him and this universe a look, and that's what we're going to do. So here's the packaging. Kind of a very plain front, black going to a green, Action Force in the bottom, Condor. This is the Valaverse Action Force on the side. The cool picture of Condor here. So again, that's really interesting. He's 0101 right there. Here's the back. So this is like the first wave. Apparently he leads the Action Force team with their version of Sergeant Slaughter against a guy from the Road Warrior. I don't know. Carrick is the leader, and his associates, the Bone Collector and their army builder, which is the Swarm. What we have on here, which is very nice to see, is that we have a full bio of Condor here on the back with his primary specialty. Here you can read all that if you want. Basically, he's this universe's version of Duke. But that's the box. So let's get them out and look at accessories. And out of the box, here are all the accessories that comes with Action Force Condor. And I'm kind of taken back by all these options that the Valaverse characters come with. So starting from left to right, we have a base, Action Force, just shiny silver plastic foot pegs. So we have 4 pegs here. So we have options for placement. We have his main weapon, his assault rifle. Looks really nice. Details really spot on for a realistic weapon. Silencer on the end does not come off, but it is blast effect compatible. And it comes with not 1, not 2, but 3 magazines. And 1 out of the box comes in on the weapon. You see it just slides right into place. We have his sidearm. This like futuristic pistol, again blast effect compatible, nicely deco with green and black. We have a combat knife, but we got the silver paint on the blade and black for the handle. Then we'll go over here to his helmet. It's molded in a softer green plastic, still not very nice and detailed with the sculpt here. And it comes with an accessory where he would have his goggles on. Again, looks really cool. Then we have an alternate head compared to his unmasked default head. This one's set for him leading raids in the battle, and the helmet appears to sit decent enough on there. So that's good. And last but not least, and Hasbro, please take note, we have options for hands. We have hands for hands of hands. Now, besides the semi-opened hands that are on the figure, we have 2 closed fists, right and left, 2 trigger grips, right and left, and 2 slightly open hands, say like if he's typing something or putting his hands on the desk and slamming. So yeah, so there's plenty of options. While they look like they have little parts here to move, I haven't really gotten any to move yet, because it just feels like it's all molded together, but we'll see. So with that, let's get to the figure. And here's Condor. And I'm impressed with these figures. They're almost, and it's very close almost to say that they are as good as the Hasbro Classified series. Aesthetically, this is more of a mix of reality and kind of future. It's a little, I think they did a much better job with blending the two than Hasbro did initially with the Classified series, because they were trying to tie it in with the video game that was out with it. Condor looks really nice. So the face sculpt is really sharp. It could do like a little bit of a wash or anything just to bring out some of the dimensions of this guy, especially with his hair and that, but all in all, it looks really good. The deco on the vest is really nice. I mean, they got these little scratches here on the plates, his British flag, and the Action Force symbol here, as well as this or SAS, since he's British, symbol here on his shoulder. Just really, really nice. The sculpt, while it's good, it's basic and not, at least in the upper part here, equal to what I've seen with the classified stuff. The legs, I don't know if you can tell, but there is some digital sculpting here in regards to like the khakis. There's a little bit of texture built in here. Thigh pockets, while covered, look really nice. Some sculpt goes down completely here and into the boots. The boots look really sharp too, in my opinion. Oh, they even got a little dry brushing on the knee pads to show some scuff. So that's really neat. That's a nice detail. Yeah, so all in all, I mean, you know, he's got storage for most of his accessories, looks like. There he is from the back. Again, just really neat figure here. So going and looking at the Valaverse, basically, I guess the way that Bobby Vala's built this world is that the United States, it was basically tearing itself apart due to political and social issues and all the other stuff. Shocking, I know how different that is from real life. But basically the federal government was dissolved and the United States started to get broken up into these different areas. So Action Force was created, I think, to help support the rebuilding of the United States federal government, and also to stop the main, I guess you want to call him, villain or anything with separate areas inside the country that was under the control of Karnak. I'm kind of interested to see more of what this world's like. I know they're putting out some sort of comics and whatnot, but obviously we're going to bring in Classified Series Duke and compare these two. But before we do that, let's go through Articulation. So Articulation, we'll start at the top with his head. It's on a ball joint. You can look up that far, down that far. There is a 360 spin for those that need. But yeah, like I'm used to Classified having the double ball joint at the neck, so you can move that around. But you know, you can do a little bit of a puzzled look and everything. So all in all, not bad. Shoulders can kind of go up to just shy 90 degrees, but he's got a really good butterfly hinge here. 360 around, bicep swivel. He's got a double jointed elbow here, pinless. Work from the second joint up to the first one here, but you can get his arm up that far. With that butterfly, he can go across his shoulders here really, really well. So that'd be good for when he holds his weapons or whatnot. So we have wrist swivel, and like I said, I can't get his hands to do any pivots in and out or up and down. So I'll have to play around with that and see if that is the case or not. All right, so we have a waist swivel that's kind of, you don't get too much, and there's no ab crunch either built into the buck or because of this vest. Moving on to the hips. He can almost do the split. He can kick up that far. Can't really go back that far at all. Looks like we have double jointed knees as well here. He can get up to that far. We have thigh swivel. A toe tilt up, nice toe tilt down, a little bit of a rocker. Yeah, so like I said, there's some parts where you can tell like this, maybe in subsequent waves we're going to get more articulation, but you know, for starting out and with this figure, definitely I'm not terribly unimpressed. I think it's very good. It's not feeling like a Marvel Legends where you don't have close to the amount of articulation points as you do with this guy. He has some points where he feels comparable, but other points where it's just Hasbro has Valaverse figures kind of beat. Let's get him accessoried up and then we'll do some comparison. And here he is with his accessories. So again, it looks really sharp, and the realistic sculpt and design of the weapons really kind of hit home with me a little bit more than what we did with some of the earlier Classified series stuff. His hands, again, I'm probably if I had to use his trigger finger to get his before manipulating it, I just didn't want to start stressing it and potentially breaking it. The extra magazine clips, he has storage here in these front vest pockets. Blade fits in this hand fairly well. It can store here in the back like so. Sidearm fits into its holster here on the side pretty well. It's a big holster, so it takes up a fair amount of real estate moving around. The only thing that's not catching with me, at least with this head, is the helmet. Not really a fan of it. So, and you can pull it off, it works a little bit better. I do notice there's a little bit of dry brush going on in there with his hair. And when I was manipulating, trying to get this helmet on, I also found out these side pieces can come off. That's kind of neat. So let me see if I can get the other head on, and we'll see how it looks with the helmet. And here he is with the alternate head, and yeah, the helmet definitely looks better on that head than the unmasked head. So if we take the attachments off, you can see how it just kind of fits better with the proportions on the sculpt there. And if we take it off, you can see how it looks. Again, not a bad sculpt. The sidearm does fit better in the hands than the assault weapon. But this hand, I'm having a pain in the rear trying to get it out to swap out hands. So again, this might just be fit and finish, and might just need a little more TLC to get the pieces to fit properly and loosen things up. But yeah, all in all, like I said, the accessories seem appropriate. The fact that he can fit almost all his accessories, with the exception of the assault rifle, on his body, he just has to hold it. He's pretty good. So let's see how a Valaverse figure compares to a couple of G.I. Joe Classified. And here's the comparison I wanted to see first off, with the Valaverse Action Force Condor with Wave 1 of the G.I. Joe Classified series Duke. Honestly, they look great together, in my opinion, for my collection. Yeah, Duke doesn't have his assault rifle because it looks like a Nerf gun, and I hate it. So I'm probably gonna get some other accessory packs with some different weapons and swap out my Joes, at least the first waves, with that type of stuff. But yeah, I mean, these two, you know, you can see kind of like the shared vision from Bobby Valla, who used to work at Hasbro, and the group that is currently working on the Classified series and are doing a great job. Things you can see, a little bit of difference here, like this weathering effect is really nice, though it looks like it's prone to chipping. The face sculpts, it's a little softer on Condor than on Duke, in my opinion, but that's minor. I mean, really, you can see some of the extra articulation helps kind of emote things a little more with Duke, specifically with the neck and face. You can get a lot more articulation out of that double ball joint. Texture wise, and again, this is with the first wave, you can kind of see what I was saying before about, like, yes, there's sculpting and it looks decent. To get further into the waves of Classified, you can see that they did a lot more with the digital sculpting, kind of like what you see here with his fatigues. But yeah, I mean, they're very comparable. Hoping to see a few more of these Valaverse figures. Here is my retro card, Gung Ho. So it's kind of a bulk that helps kind of visualize a bulkier figure. So yeah, I mean, that's a nice size comparison and kind of merging of these two worlds. So final impressions of the Valaverse 01 Action Force Condor. I like him. I like this line. I'm glad I started out with this guy, because I can only hope that the future waves that are coming out will improve with like articulation, but you know, a stellar job with just like the detailing on the paint. Hopefully the sculpting of like the faces get better for these other figures that I'm looking at, and hopefully we'll get at some point. The weapons are nice and beautifully sculpted and painted, and you know, great details. Blast effect compatible, which is great. If you have a chance to venture into the Valaverse, I recommend starting out. Yeah, I recommend trying them out if you want a little more variety in your Classified series. That's all I have for this guy. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit notifications. Thanks a lot. Have a happy new year, and we'll talk again soon. Enjoy the pictures.